You know that saying where it's, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it must be a duck. And I honestly don't know if it qualifies as espionage, but it sure does feel espionage adjacent. And I've not ever spoken with her personally, but I would guess if you called Edward Snowden's mother and you said, if you could go back in time and do one thing differently, what would you do? I suspect her response would be that she would have picked up the phone on that fateful afternoon and she would call Edward and she'd be like, honey, I get it. I know you think you're saving America. I know you think you're exposing bad deeds done by bad people. I know you've convinced yourself that you're the hero in this situation, but people aren't going to look at it that way. You are going to be a pariah for the next 50 years of your life, and you're going to have to be on the run and constantly hiding from the US government. I'm going to need you to put down what you're doing and come home. My guess is she would probably do that. And she would have been smart to do that. That's why when I made the video yesterday, kind of telling the mothers of Elon Musk's Geek Squad that they need to call their kids and be like, get the fuck out while you can, because this is going to get ugly. If you haven't yet read the article in Wired magazine, that's who sort of started all of this inquiry. And they do a short little expose on each of these six. I'm still kind of calling them kids. They're some of them are teenagers. Some of them they're 19 to 23 or 24 years old, I think is what this group is. They have little or no government experience whatsoever. They are computer geeks. They're, dare I use the word, hackers. Most of them have previous connections with Elon Musk in that they have done internships or something for his other companies. But at least two of them are connected to Peter Thiel. And if that name sounds familiar to you, yes, he's the owner of JD Vance. He is the multi-gazillionaire who's behind the scenes twisting his mustache, making Project 2025 happen. So yes, this is all linked to each other. If you shut down all the government systems, if you stop all of the money from going out to the American people, then you can control them. It's really quite brilliant. So for starters, Doge is not part of the federal government. Doge, don't kid yourself, it's not a government office. They're basically like a consultancy, right? So they've hired consultants to come in and look at government waste. On the surface, that sounds brilliant. That's yes, maybe that's what should have been done ages ago. Now, I would have gone to McKinsey or Deloitte or one of the agencies that's usually really good at this sort of shit, but they went to Elon Musk. And part of it was, I think, because not only do they want an audit, but they want kind of new infrastructure built so that it kind of cuts out a lot of the middlemen and it streamlines the processes. Again, on its surface, very, very good. But when Elon Musk said the words, if Donald Trump doesn't win, I'm fucked, he meant it, because he has been up to no good for a very long fucking time. You don't get to be the richest man on earth if you're not shady as shit. So we've given Lex Luthor the keys to the castle, and we've wondered why he's going a little crazy up in there. Do you remember the movie Big, where Tom Hanks, he goes to work in the office and he gets his first paycheck and he buys that big warehouse, but he fills it with like trampolines and soda machines? That's Elon Musk. He's inside there running around like a fucking man-child because he's finally been given his dream. He's been given unfettered access to everything that everybody else has tried to keep private from him all these years. According to the Wired article, they were given, and this is why I was a little bit confused yesterday, but they were given a suite level clearance. They were given access to all public spaces and all IT systems. So you've let one of the world's greatest computer nerds have access to your IT systems. That was your first big fucking mistake. And then he brings in brilliant prepubescent hacker bros and tells them to go at it. They've already taken over the Office of Personnel Management, which is essentially like the HR office. They've taken over the personnel systems. Then they gained access. No one really wants to be clear about how that happened, but they gained access to the Treasury Department's payment systems, which again, I said yesterday, essentially controls everything. every payment that goes out. So if you are on Social Security, if you're on Medicare, if you're on some sort of federal grant, if you're a business, if you are like at the education department or somebody who gets federal grants, these kids have hijacked these systems. They now control these systems, and if they wanted to push a button, they could stop every single penny from flowing into the hands of needy Americans. And what we're witnessing is they were given, this is the proverbial, give them an inch and they'll take 17,000 miles, because that's exactly what's happened. These guys were given this much space to roam around in, and they have gone hog wild. And I know people are like, why isn't our Congress doing anything? We need to keep in mind, Chuck Grassley is a 217-year-old farmer. He knows fucking nothing about computers. We saw how absolutely ignorant our Congress is when it comes to these types of technical issues, right? When it comes to technology, they don't have an ounce of knowledge. They call all of these tech bro CEOs in to question them. And when they asked Shu, whatever his name, the guy from TikTok, they bring him in, and one of these rubes is like, does it take over the home Wi-Fi? Can it infiltrate my home internet? The good news is, with enough training, if you got a smart dog, they could probably know more about technology than the fucking Congress does. So we can't count on them. They're showing up at the USAID, and they're basically, bring your own podium and having a press conference. No, I want to see videos of them banging on the fucking doors. I want to see them surrounded by federal officers with warrants going in the fucking building. Don't do a press conference and be like, they've hijacked our systems. It's hard to say if these young men know what they're doing. Like, I can't imagine. They're some of the highest IQ individuals probably that exist. So either they honestly just believe that they're helping the government, they're MAGA and they want to support the government and cut waste, or they honestly know that they are there to rob the fucking place, that they are there to steal and manipulate and walk out with pockets full of cash, and Elon has promised them all a big payday. I don't know exactly what it is, but you can't count on our Congress to do anything about it.